If she's still in your bed, but her heart's not in the room, this video is our wake-up call. Because the signs she's being loyal, they're not always, but the signs she's slipping away to someone else, they whisper right from the sheets you share. Today, we're revealing 5 hidden bedroom behaviors. Scream she's getting it elsewhere. And most men miss them until it's too late. If you've ever felt a shift in her talk, her energy, or her silence, this might explain everything. Let's begin with something you may have already noticed. She avoids your touch like it burns. You try to initiate gentle, playful, or maybe even bold, and she dodges it with a laugh that doesn't reach her eyes, or worse, a sigh like your desire is a chore on her endless list. Now, sure, life gets busy, stress happens, but when physical connection becomes inconvenient, irritating, or robotic, you're not just dealing with stress, you're dealing with emotional discount, or worse. Read, when a woman is emotionally checked out, but still pretending to better, her body becomes a wall, not a bridge. Humans are biologically wired to seek closeness through intimacy. When that's missing consistently, she's likely replacing that closeness somewhere else. Sound harsh? Good, because it should be. You deserve truth, not polite lies. But here's something even more chilling. She's performing but not for you. Suddenly, she's new moves, new energy, even new lingerie. But oddly, there's no emotional presence. She's there, but neutrally with you. Like an actress in a scene written for someone else. Ask yourself, where did she learn that? And more importantly, who is she? This isn't about paranoia. It's about patterns. Real intimacy is mutual discovery, growing together. When it becomes a solo performance, you might just be watching a dress rehearsal for a different audience. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Am I just reading too much into this? But here's a pattern interrupt for you. Would a lion ignore law marks near his territory? Exactly. Instinct isn't paranoia. It's protection. And speaking of instinct, you notice how suddenly she doesn't want to cuddle after. Doesn't even want to before she'd wrap her legs around you and melt into your chest. Now, it's a quick turn. A phone grab or worse. Cha sleeps on the very edge of the bed. That's not random. That's emotional detente dressed up as fatigue. And here's a raw truth most men won't say out loud. When women are emotionally involved with someone else, even if just mentally, they can't fake post-intimacy. It's not about how long she stays in bed. It's about where her mind is while she's there. Maybe she used to fall asleep in your arms. Now she falls asleep facing the wall. Still think it's not. Then let's take it deeper. You catch her staring off into space afterward, eyes distant, almost like she's lost in another moment. Not Theon you just shared, but one she wishes was in, or already has been in, somewhere else with someone else. Your bed becomes a battlefield. Not because of what's said, but because of what's missed. Presence, warmth, spark. You're any crazy for noticing, and you're not weak for caring. But ignoring it, that is fastest way to lose your dignity insolence. And here's the real test. Has stopped initiating entirely. Even worse, does she seem relieved when you... Men often assume women are just knit in the mood. But when not in theme mood becomes her default mode, it's no to dry spell. It's a dry exit strategy. And here's the part that stings. When a woman wants another man, her body won't lie to you. But you might lie to yourself. We're not done yet. Because it there's One sign most men ignore until it's too late. One that flips the holodynamic in a way you never see coming. And once you notice it, you can't unseat. You know what's worse? Indifference. At least rejection shows emotion, fire, resistance, passion in another form. But when she's indifferent in the bedroom, you're not just losing physicalness, you're losing significance in her mind. And it shows in a strange and settling way. She starts using intimacy as leverage. Suddenly, physical affection is a currency. You didn't take Keith's trash out. No affection. You disagreed with her on something. Colds hold her all night. You're not playing a emotional puppet game. Bedroom door stay locked. Let that sink in. It's no longer about mutual connection. It's about control. This isn't just about affection being withheld. It's about it being weaponized. Because when a woman is getting her needs met elsewhere, emotionally or physically, she no longer needs to give herself to you. She gives just enough to keep the peace, or worse, to keep you distracted. Let me ask you some. Do you feel like you're owning every small gesture of intimacy now? That you have to work for what you set to flow naturally? Here's a bitter truth that should shake you wide awake. When a woman is into you, she wants to give. When she's into someone else, she withholds to protect that other bond, even if she hasn't admitted it to herself yet. Now, here's where it gets serious. Her routine suddenly changes. Not just in the bedroom, but right before it. She starts going to bed later. Maybe stays up scrolling, phone angled away from you, screen dimmed. Smile just a little too subtle when she reads that message she doesn't want you to see. Choose to undress in front of you, casually, comfortably. Now she changes in the bathroom, door locked, lights off, like her body no longer belongs to your eyes. That's not privacy. That's secrecy. And secrecy always has a shadow behind it. We've all heard that phrase, it's not what she says, it's what she does. But let's evolve that in Thebed. It's not what she does, it's what she used to do and doesn't anymore. That absence, it's louder than anything. Let's flip the script for a second. Humor me. Imagine you're watching a movie you've seen 100 times. You know every scene, every turn, every emotion. But this time, a key scene is missing. The camera pans differently. The kiss doesn't land. The music cuts early. Wouldn't you notice? That's what's happening to you now. You're living the same movie, but scenes are missing. Timing is off. Emotion is absent. And deep down, you know it. Now, let's talk about what I call the moment after sex, when she says nothing, no smile, no laughter, no I love you. Just the sound of her phone buzzing, or her back turning, or worse, that awkward silence so thick you could cut it with a knife. Men often chalk this up to stress, hormones, or schist. But don't gaslight yourself. If silence is constant, if there's no shared laughter, no playfulness, not a moth glow, you're not sharing armament, you're sharing a bed, and maybe not for much longer. If your bedroom feels like a business transaction, ask yourself, who is she in business with? Now, I'm not saying every distant partner is cheating, but I am saying that patterns don't lie. And the pattern here, she's gone, emotionally, possibilifically too. But remember, the bedroom doesn't lie. It reveals. It reveals where desire lives, where attention flows, and where loyalty no longer exists. And just when you think I've heard it all, there's one final behavior. The one that hurts the most, the one that flips everything upside. It's not rejection. It's eagerness to get it over with. eagerness to check a box, eagerness to keep you pacified, like Amen being given scraps instead of a seat at the table. And there's a specific reason she does this, one that goes deeper than physical disinterest, one that exposes exactly where her heart and body are already invested. That final point, that's where everything commences. You feel it in your bones. She's eager. All right, but not eager for you. Eager to get it over with. Yugo, in hoping for connection. But what you get feels like obligation, routine, a job she doesn't enjoy anymore, but still clocks in for out of convenience or guilt. And here's the twist most men ever see coming. That eagerness to perform isn't passion. It's a distraction, a cover. You're not making love. You're playing a role in a performance she no longer emotionally radiates for. And the scariest part, she's doing just enough to keep you from asking questions. Because if she shuts down completely, you'll notice. But if she gives you a taste, just enough to avoid suspicion, you stay confused. Not suspicious, confused. And confusion is the perfect cage. Because as long as you're questioning yourself, you're not questioning her. Let's call this what it is: strategic survival. She's buying time, preserving appearances, and using the bedroom as her mask. But masks, it shows in the eye contact, that in the way her body tenses when you touch her, in the way she stops kissing you like she means it. Those kisses used to say, "I'm here," now they say, "Let's get this over with." Let me hit you with a question that'll make your stomach drop. When was the last time she kissed you before intimacy, without expecting anything in return? Just kissed you for you. Think about it. Because when affection disappears and performance takes over, you're no longer in a relationship. You're in a transaction. And here's a sobering: the woman who gives you her body but withholds her heart is giving her heart somewhere else. Maybe not her body yet, but emotionally she's halfway gone. Let's rewind for a second. Remember the nights when she used to grab you, pull you close, whisper things she'd never say in the daylight. Remember how her desire used to be spontaneous, wild, even messy. Now it's structured, predictable, like she's checking a box. Don't be fooled by frequency. Sometimes becomes more sexually active, just to compensate, to throw you off. To prove to herself that she's still here, even when her mind is somewhere else, wrapped around someone else's voice, someone else's hands, someone else. It's not always about less bedroom activity. Sometimes it's about less intimacy, even in more activity. And that right there is the deep. You're showing up with heart and she's showing up with a mask. Now, if this is hitting you like a punch tough gut, that's good. That pain, it's sire intuition, screaming louder than your fear. You've been tolerating just enough to keep your peace, and in doing so, you've lost your power. So, here's sire, next step. Start observing, not with bitterness, but with clarity. Watch how she responds when you pull back. Watch how she acts when you stop chasing the affection you used to receive for free. Her reaction will tell you everything, because if she's still invested in you, she'll come closer. But if she's invested elsewhere, she'll retreat even faster. Either way, you win, because the truth, no matter how painful, is better than living a lie in your own bed. We've uncovered for signal ready, but there's one final behaviorary, subtle and often misread. That is the ultimate confirmation. It doesn't involve touch or distance or performance. It's something far more, something most men don't realize until it's too late. And it's the clearest proof that she's already given herself to someone else in a way that can't be reversed. You ready for it? Here it is, the final sign. It's not about what she does during intimacy. It's about what she never does. Anymore, she stopped seeking emotional reassurance after. No cuddling, no to-kin, no skin-to-skin warmth. But more than that, she no longer needs your. And that shift is deadly. Why? Because women, even the most independent tones, crave connection after vulnerability. And when that need suddenly dies out, not gradually, but cold and sharp, it means something deeper has replaced it. Someone else's validation has filled the void, and she no longer looks to you to make her feel seen. That quiet withdrawal, that refusal to emotionally reconnect after sex, it's not apathy, it's confirmation that her heart now beats to someone else's rhythm. And that's where it stings the most. Not in the rejection, not even in the lies, but in their realization that you're no longer the mon she emotionally checks in with after giving herself away. She's somewhere reels in her mind, in her heart, and yes, maybe even in her body. Now, let me pull you back in for a moment, because I know what some of you are thinking right now, but maybe it's just a phase. Maybe Eva changed. Maybe I haven't been given. Maybe it's my fault. That's how men lose themselves. That's how they give up power, dignity, and confidence, trying to win back someone who's already halfway out the door, while another man is already holding it open for her. This isn't a call for anger. This is a call for clarity. You are not weak for loving. You are not foolish for wanting connection, but you are accountable for what you tolerate. And if these signals resonate with you, if this sounds eerily close to home, it's time to stop ignoring the signals your gut's been screaming at you. You don't have to accuse her. You don't have to start a war. You just have to wake up. Start showing up for yourself. Start pulling back, reclaiming energy, and see what she does without your effort. If Chef waits to reconnect, there's still hope. If she drifts further, you've got your. Don't chase what's already detached. Because here's the brutal truth. Most men ignore until they're emotionally bankrupt. The woman who is truly yours will make you feel like Amen in the bedroom and beyond. She won't leave you wondering. She won't leave yubbaging for scraps of affection, faking chemistry, or justifying coldness. She won't just show up physically. She'll meet you emotionally, energetically, soulfully. That's what you deserve. And if you've lost that, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your awakening. Stop asking, what did I do? Start asking, why am I still accepting less than I deserve? Because truth doesn't hurt nearly as much as staying in denial. And sometimes the most powerful thing a man can do is walk away with his dignity intact. You're not broken. You're not alone. You're just done pretending. If this resonated with you, if even one sign made your stomach twist, then now is your time to act. Not out of fear, but out of power. Reclaim your energy, protect your peace, and never settle for a woman who only gives you part of herself, while another man gets the rest. And if you want more insights like this, truthful, unfiltered, and powerful, subscribe now, Beckers. This channel isn't about drama, it's about wisdom, clarity. You deserve the truth, and it starts with